Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got for you this super cute cow print set. We've got some nude, we've got some half cow print, half nude, and I'll show you guys how to do it. But before we get into the video, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my videos. So I do my prep for you guys in quite a few videos. So I'm not going to do it for you in this one. I will have a video linked in the iCards where you can see how I do my prep. But in this one, I've already got the prep done, the nail tips on, and I'm just cutting them down to the size that I want them to be. These are the Universal Nail Tips by Not Polish. They are my favorite because you can use them for basically any shape. I also have a discount code with Not Polish, and that is always listed down in the description box with all of my codes. When I'm sizing my tips, I always make the pinky and the pointer just a little bit shorter than the ring finger and the middle finger. Those two fingers on me can look a little bit fat or chubby, I guess, just short, if they are not a little bit longer. So I like to give the slimming effect to them and leave them just a little bit longer than the pinky and the pointer. Also the thumb I keep a little bit shorter just so it's easier for me to kind of move around and like do things. Otherwise I hit it on everything. So I am buffing these tips right where they meet the natural nail just to blend them in, and you don't need to do a lot of this because they are very thin in that area, so it makes it very easy to blend. I also wanted to have a stronger C-curve on these nails, so I just pinched them and created a little bend right down the center of the nail, which will give that stronger C-curve. So just cleansing that off and getting rid of any dust, I'm going to start with my Cody rubber base. Of course, all the products I use in today's video will be linked down in my description box, so if you're curious about anything I'm using, they'll all be linked down below. So I am going to make sure that I am putting the base tight to the sidewalls and the cuticle area, and then I do put it over the tip as well. You don't have to put it over the tip. I just prefer to. I just find it gives a better adhesion for me. And then I'm going to be using my new favorite nude hard gel. It is a Color by Mia Secret, and it's basically the perfect shade of nude for me. It's a very pinky nude, and I love it. So I'm starting by grabbing a small bead, and I'm going to work that over the surface of the entire nail to create my slip layer. Then I'll grab a bigger bead and float and pillow the product over the surface where I need it. I'm only going to show you guys one nail because I did this the exact same for all of the nails. When doing your slip layer, you want to make sure that you get nice and tight back to the cuticle area without touching the skin. If you do touch the skin, you want to clean that up before you cure. Otherwise, it will create lifting and your adhesion will not be right. So you just want to make sure you remove anything that is touching if it happens before curing. While that is still wet, now I'm going in with my bigger bead and I'm going to pillow the product back by the cuticle. When I say pillow the product, I just mean that I am taking my brush and gently pressing into the center of my bead, and that is allowing some to kind of squish out in front of the brush. That allows me to get tight into that cuticle area without using a lot of product back there, because you do want it to be a seamless transition from your natural nail to your extension. Otherwise you'll have a bit of a ledge and it can create just like snags when you're doing things, and it can cause lifting. So if you've got that perfectly blended, your nails are going to last a lot longer. So just make sure you use minimal product back there and you'll be able to file it into perfection. Then I grabbed another big bead and carried that product down the rest of the nail. I flipped my nail upside down just to keep everything in that center point. And of course, it would not be one of my videos if Tatiana's sassy ass was not popping up. So there she was, and I'm sure she'll be coming back again. So when my nail is flipped over, I just use the very tip of my brush to move the gel into that kind of stressed area, but it's really more like center of the nail is where you want the bulk of your product, and have it thin out along the sidewalls and cuticle. I apologize, I'm stumbling over my words so much today, guys. I'm just having one of those days I can't get my thoughts out. So bear with me. So after I cured that for a full minute, I applied a second slip layer, and now I'm going to build my apex. I don't start this bead all the way back in the cuticle because I don't want to build a thickness there. So I start it just a little bit further up the nail, and I leave the bulk of the product right there in my apex. I grab another big bead and carry it down the remainder of the nail, keeping it thin along the sidewalls and thinner towards the free edge. Of course, if you have any excess bulk, you can clean it up in the filing process, but I do try to keep it as perfect as I can, or as close to perfect as I can, just so that we don't have to file away too much bulk. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of product and a waste of time. So this is what my nails look like before they were filed. They're a bit lumpy. They are not nicely shaped at all. But here's what they look like after. Much more thin, much better shape overall. Just using some isopropyl alcohol to clean off the dust with my nail brush and make sure I am ready to go for my gel polish application, which is what we will be doing next to give these the cow print look. Going to be using some polishes from Beetles today. These do come in the same set, the black and the white. And I'm trying to figure out here, I was just trying to figure out which nail I wanted to be my full cow print nail. So I'm just going to take the gel polish and paint it over the entire surface of the nail, trying to keep it tight back along the cuticle. When I use my gel polish, I make sure to lay my brush down flat over the surface of the nail. That will allow the polish a much more smooth application and keep it free from lumps and bumps. If you can see, I even adjusted the way I was holding it because I am doing this on my non-dominant hand, or I'm doing it with my non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I was doing these cow print nails on my right hand, so it's kind of a more awkward position. Okay, so now I'm just going to start on my half nails. I'm just using the brush that comes with the gel in the bottle just to try to create that half shape, but I'm going to clean it up with a cleanup brush. So back at the cuticle area, it was very difficult for me to try to create that line. So I just decided to not worry about it. I would clean it up with my brush, and I just wanted to get it tight back to that cuticle. And now I'm just using some rubbing alcohol on a keeping it damp on my brush. I'm not flooding it, otherwise it will dilute your polish, and it'll cause it to not cure properly and chip away as you wear it. So we just want to make sure that we dab off our brush from that alcohol before going in to clean up the line. Keep in mind with these though that I am going to add striping tape after I add the black spots. So this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I will also show you a trick for cleaning that line up before we apply this striping tape. So just get it as clean as you can, and that'll be good enough. We will be going in with a second coat of these as well. On this nail, I did the half print on the other side, so it was the side closest to me, and it was much easier than the pinky. So I'm just going to do the same thing, trying to keep the line as clean as I can, but I am a pretty shaky person in general. Doesn't make detail work necessarily easy. So I'm just going to take advantage of my cleanup brush to make sure I have a fairly straight line. I'll let you go ahead and watch while I do my second coat, and then I will come back when it is time to move on to the next step.
No, I'm not a role model. Nothing ever seems to last. Baby, now that I got it, I'll be better with you. I'll be better with you. Now that I got it. No, I'm not a role model. Now that I got it, I'll be better with you. I'll be better with you. Now that I got it. Got me thinking.
Okay, so now that we have that second coat done, I'm going to clean up the line on this nail before going in with my black spots. So I'm just taking a 180 grit file and running it right along that line of where the white polish meets the nude gel. This is going to help crispen it up a little bit and make it easier to hide any imperfections when I apply my striping tape later. Once I've got that cleaned up to my desired effect, nearly as perfect as I would like it to be, I could have continued going because I am quite the perfectionist, but I knew I was going to be applying striping tape over it anyways, so it was a waste of time to continue. So I just got it as close to perfect as I could, and now I'm moving in to apply the black spots. So I'm just going to be using my dotting tool, and I'm going to create some kind of random shapes. When I went back along this cuticle edge, I knew that dotting tool was going to be too big to get a clean line, and I was either going to have it run back farther and touch my skin, and I was going to have to clean it up, or it wasn't going to get close enough back to that cuticle and there was going to be white showing. So I switched over to a detail brush just to create that back line. Then I continue in with my dotting tool. When doing an animal print or any kind of like natural elements, I do suggest using a reference photo just so you can see what that looks like in reality. And real quick, that spot that I just did, that big one in the middle, does anyone see the state of Texas in that? Because like I kind of see Texas just a little bit. Basically, I'm just going to make sure I have a variation of small and big, and making sure that none of them have repeating like kind of edges. Like they're all going to be slightly different from the other. Every maybe 3 to 5 spots, I go ahead and give it a flash cure just to make sure if I bump it for any reason, it's not going to be ruined and all my hard work's going to be lost. So now I'm going to do them again on the half nails, and it's really easy to do. You really just are wiggling your little dotting tool around in random shapes, and then when I get up along that side edge, I'm getting it as close to the line of nude as possible, but I'm not going to allow that black to go over the white edge. Like I said, that striping tape will give us a perfect line, but I don't want to go over just in case it would show on that other side of the striping tape. I hope that makes sense. So with my half nails, I'm going to do the same thing as the big one, making sure that I have some big and some small, and no shapes that are repeating. If you guys see any images in these shapes, let me know down below what it was you saw, because I want to know if anyone caught something I didn't.
Don't need a hand to hold tight. Don't need a love that's all mine. But sometimes I just want somebody to talk to. Someone that's on my mind. I want something that's
Perfect. Now that I've got those done, I did a 60-second cure, and we're going to go in with the striping tape. So really it is self-explanatory. I cut off a section and I placed it down that center line right where the white meets the nude. And then I'm going to use my tweezers to really seal that down. You want to make sure it is completely sealed, otherwise it can start to lift as you wear the design. Another tip that I have for keeping your striping tape on without it lifting is when you go into top coat. I took top coat twice when I have striping tape or any kind of decals or anything like that. The first one, it kind of seals it in, but it can very easily lift just with those, that the first layer doesn't really smooth out that line where the striping tape edges are. But when you go in with that second coat, it makes everything the same like level. I hope that makes sense. And this is my new favorite matte polish. It is a velvet matte and it is so good. I am obsessed with this stuff. I don't wear an all matte set like ever. I always mix my matte with my glossy nails. But this one was all matte because I was loving this top coat. And this set was done by a subscriber request. I really appreciate the suggestion because I was not planning to do cow nails, but oh my gosh, I love how these came out. I've gotten so many compliments on them, so many people asking me where I got my nails done. So I'm handing out my business cards left and right. So I just have to say thank you for the request, and if any of you guys have any designs or any kind of video ideas that you would like for me to do, let me know. I always make sure that I am fulfilling the requests that you guys are leaving for me. That's basically it, guys. We're gonna apply some cuticle oil and then we will be done. You're about to see my little dog. There she is. She was saying, "This is taking too long, Mom." She is such a little mama's girl. And this set, she was not having it. I was taking too long for her, so she poked her little face in to say, "Are you done yet?" But that's basically it, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Of course, if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests for different sets, let me know down below. I love to hear from you guys. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!